Guys, just because you don't think somebody did something don't mean they didn't, right? Now, um, when someone gets up and shares with you eternal faith in what is right and obeying natural laws, understanding natural laws, sustaining our life through natural laws, okay? Just because you think he didn't do it don't mean he didn't, right? So, Lord Jesus Christ is the standard of human behavior in a group of large barbarians who think they can invent their own laws. And Jesus proved to them, you can't. Okay. You're given life by the truth of creation and not your invention, and you cannot use your invention to deny everybody the beauty of the laws of creation. Now, being a human being, right? It's different being an animal than it is being a human being. Okay. Animals do build shelters, okay. But animals don't have the capacity to reflect the beauty of the understanding of natural laws, to protect and maintain our environment and not destroy our environment through the delusions of our creativity or our invention. Okay. So the biggest threat to human beings is our own perception of what we think we do that's successful or great. Taking our invention, wrapping it up in boxes, sending it off in mechanization, and destroying all creation in the process because our invention is so gosh damn great. And then looking for a new place given to us by creation to destroy with our invention, right? And Jesus, knew through eternity, through his faith and his eternal faithful love, that this was wrong. And then there was a boy born in Las Cruces, July 19th, 1966, that redeemed Jesus Christ. And just because you don't think I did it, don't mean that I didn't. All right? Just like with the kids, they were calling the game tonight, and Braden hit a three tonight in the game. Just because we don't mean that we won't or can't, and it's like, And then I was sitting there out shooting in the barn. I was like, I was shooting with my left hand. And just practicing a bit, thinking about Paul Westphal. When I shot some with my left hand. And, I can do it. I just don't like it. But if you practice it, you get better at it. But just don't like it. I was so dominant and so talented and so explosive and good with my right. It didn't make sense to go to my left, because when I went to my left, even if I practiced it, it wasn't as explosive and athletic as with my right. And since I could go up real athletically with my right hand, far, superior athletically, and move it to across my body to where it'd be like you were trying to block it with the way I shot. I could shoot from anywhere, anyway, because I practiced it my dad told me about it when I was a kid, and I did it. It was all about aim, just like shooting with my left hand. I can make it with my left hand. It's just harder to aim, but it could go in. Just my aim's not as good with my left as it is with my right. And so, if a snake is going to bite your child and you have to shoot it, you're going to use your right hand. Okay? If you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, you're going to use your left, but you're going to use your strong hand. All right? So, man, I'm tired, y'all. Woo, Lord. And so, I'm sitting there watching these little girls in El Paso, going around stimulating economies with a bunch of people that don't believe in the Messiah Earl, And it's like, just because you don't think I did, don't mean I didn't. Same with Jesus. When I was a kid, I knew right away. And my family all still tells me this. They believe he's God because he was resurrected. And I believe he's the Messiah because he was my light on true faith and true obedience to natural laws given to us by the truth of creation. Okay. I still do. I believe in all that he did for me to have me be faithful and strong like him, and praise God have faith in the truth of creation, and try my best to obey the natural laws given to us by God to maintain life through faithfully loving one another through holy covenants. Okay. That's why I believe in Jesus Christ. It has nothing to do with the resurrection. Okay. The resurrection, people now can clone. And that doesn't make any of those assholes God. It just means they can manipulate matter that was given to us by the truth of creation, which is the glory of God. Okay? So, being a body being raised from the dead does not make the assholes that do it God. It just means they can manipulate matter and elongate the process of trapping the soul in the body because they won't live the covenants of truth, of faith and truth of creation, and share the kingdom of heaven. Okay. So the resurrection and the movement, that doesn't make me believe in Jesus Christ or have any faith in God. Okay. What makes me have faith in God is the truth of creation and Jesus being the courage of kindness and the eternal focal point of faith that he is. That's what makes me believe in Jesus Christ. And if you believe in Jesus Christ because of the resurrection, what if I told you that a bunch of assholes in the Catholic Church and the Mormon Church invented a wormhole, put it in a space station, took a Parsons aeronautics ship, okay, went through that wormhole, went down and retrieved Jesus, with stem cell research moved him to the year 3000 so they could use the movement of Jesus to have what they thought was the best forms of relative communication to be in charge of the economy that they think runs the world. Would you still believe in Jesus when you still have faith in God if this is what happened? And that they're only using Jesus and they're only using me as a focal point of communication to get people to comply with their perception of what they want Jesus to be. Okay. Would you still believe in Jesus and would you still have faith in God if what I just told you was the truth? Because that's what Jesus told me in Sierra Vista. I was like, Jesus, what? He told me, what if it was a lot like Edward Norton's movie with Liv Tyler, The Illusionist, when they get him and move him and they thought he was dead and he's not right. It's like, so they take you up to Sicily and stuff like that? It's more complex than that, Earl. Okay. That means all the people that you loved that watch you be crucified died way before you ever died. That would be horrible, Jesus. To be picked up and moved away from my dad and my sisters and my brother-in-law and Emily and Kate, and they all died in the 2000s, and I was alive in 3000, living in a world where there was no pollution, no murder, no economics, no espionage, no threats of nuclear warfare, no sitting around going, aliens are going to come kill us all if we don't build weapons to mass murder them. And that'd be horrible. I would want to take Emily and Kate and Noah and Pat and say, no, let's live what Jesus gave us at Calvary now so I can enjoy you and love you. I'd hate to be taken away from the people I love and then sit through quantum computing in the year 3026 and watch them be tortured to death and die because we're not living the Lord's Prayer. Can you only imagine what it's like for Jesus watching my videos on YouTube in the year 3026? And you guys just sit there and go, no, you're not the Messiah. You're not Jesus. Jesus is God. He watches from the satellites in the sky from technology in the future, and he's going to make sure we all live the Lord's Prayer. Yeah, and he's using Earl to do it. He keeps telling me that too. Earl, it's not me. Am I there with you? No, it's me, Jesus. Like he always told me that too. Did you get crucified for me? Did you carry the cross up? And then when I said, I couldn't have done it when I was sick and carrying these railroad ties and they were beating the shit out of me, I said, I don't know if I could have got that thing. They beat the hell out of you and got that cross all the way to the top of that hill. He goes, I couldn't either, Earl. And I was like, I love you so much, Jesus. I love you. And he goes, and don't sell yourself short. You know, you're stronger than any of these perverts that abuse you, and any of these people that are just too selfish to publicly acknowledge you and ignore you and think that, the cartoon character from Constantine and Jerome in the sky are going to do it for him. No, the Lord's Prayer is perfect, and you have to stand up for it so you can do it for yourself. He loves you, and so do I. And I forgive you, just like him. Forgive them, Father, because Jesus told me to. And I told him to. It's simultaneously. He told me more than I told him. I was lost. I had brain damage from all the Wi-Fi and J-Lo's butt and Johnny West and electric football and EA Sports. And, other things didn't really distract me that much. The one that was the hardest was because, they did that to me when I was a little boy. And it was a woman that looked like Yvonne DiCarlo. And she was going to be my forever love. And she was going to fall in love with me because of I knew I was going to be a single father. I knew my wife was going to be mulatto and I was going to be a single dad. And she was going to love me because of the type of person I was and because I was this such amazing father, And that's what Jesus told me. So he said these, but maybe it's something that's supposed to happen. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. Another time and another place, Maybe it wasn't meant to happen now. Maybe we're just both too damaged by all the perverts that were her business partners that I wouldn't go into business with. But you can always forgive people. Being bitter and being vain and fuck you, just fuck off and die. You feel that way. It's horrible. I mean, all the poisoning and all the abuse, I had some professionals talking to me when I was in the barn, right? They were talking about my colon and how it's reacting, listen to Larry Cable Guy talk about his colonoscopy. And I told him, I said, no, I think that my body works way different than your body, just like my mind works way different than your mind. And you need to stand up for he said it, but in his professional opinion, I said, what's nice about my life is that your professional opinion doesn't fucking matter. The same with the psychologist that you hang out with. Okay? Your professional opinion will not survive this. In my professional opinion, when I look at professionals, I think the people that you consider business partners that you trust are setting you up to be killed. And if you don't stand up for the Lord's Prayer, you will not survive this, and you won't be able to give me any opinion at all, much less a fucking professional opinion, asshole. So you need to get the fuck out of here. Okay? I got some doctors and psychologists, I guess, that are, experts that are helping J-Lo, and I'm like, you need to get the fuck out of here. Okay? Because that technology is set up to kill you, and I'm the focal point. And if Rockefeller didn't tell you that, then sorry you didn't get the memo, asshole. Memo, hey Memo, give me a beer. I hate beer. But I was like, no. Suzuki tells me, it's my good opinion that I get from people who worked with people that were survivors from radiation poisoning, was he said the big thing you need to do is relax and understand life is eternal, grace is infinite. You're right, they're wrong. You're good, they're bad. And you are the focal point of truth, and they are lost and stuck in their lie. And you'll be fine. Just survive, stop, eliminate, abuse, recover. And if you can't help do that, if you can't stand up for the Lord's Prayer, I don't give a fuck about any of your professional fucking opinions. Okay? Your professional opinions will not survive this apocalypse. Okay? But I will. 104, maybe more. There you go. This is a good answer. I could tell the little girl at the store. Sat there and I said that as I was outside, and how long do you want to live? I said, at least, I'm tired and I feel a little nauseous. Yeah, it's because of the crap out here and all this stuff. And it's a season. I go, okay. And he goes, I don't feel like dying just yet. He goes, that's a good answer. When do you feel, like dying? I said, about 2007. He said, good answer. I love Suzuki's so fun, man. He's the best. Good answer. Okay, thanks. He goes, if Jesus said to do something and tell them this is what, you feel deserve, and I intend on being healthy. I intend on recovering. I intend on, having a healthy ecosystem and living in that healthy ecosystem. I intend on obliterating all economics and all delusions of perception of success by being excessive and compulsive and thinking you have to work your ass off to make a lot of money to pay to live here and do things excessively and compulsively. Right? Don't do it. You stop now. Stop. Collaborate and listen. Early's back with a brand new edition. Will it ever stop? Hopefully so. Yeah. Go. When I get to be quiet and don't have to get up and share the Gospels on a daily basis, that means people are understanding the Gospels and living the Gospels, and I get to smile a lot. And I like that. I like smiling a lot. It does, man. It does. I like the little babies when I go to the store and they see me and hi. And they're so cute. The little guy with his mommy, he's so cute. He was so cute. Hi, how are you? Hi. I love the eyes. And when I was going out of the store and they would come in, the two little kids were coming in and they'd, hi. And they're in their little carts and they're so cute. And I'm like, they're so adorable. And then, of course, the little Danae girl, she was so beautiful. I met mom and dad. They were beautiful. And she had these big eyes and she looked at me. Hi. It's so beautiful to see. I think, because, I think almost all kids in almost all cultures in the United States are familiar with Yahweh and David's eyes. And I have David's eyes, and people have told me that. And when you look into eyes of someone that completely loves you and will do whatever's necessary to help you and your family be delivered from evil through redeeming the Gospels and standing up for the Lord's Prayer, no matter what the devil and Satan do. Those are special eyes. And I knew when I was in Sierra Vista and all the little kids from Mexico would come, and, Tim, they'd see me and I'd, hi, Tim. All the kids from, Sonora, yeah, because there's Chihuahua and it's Sonora and Arizona, see, in Agua Prieta and Nogales and Douglas, and they would come into the store and it's him, it's Raphael, everybody was a little confused. I was a little confused then. And I would tell them, no, me llamo es Rafael, because I went by Ralph, and my name's not Jesus. They would say, Jesus. No, I'm not Jesus. I'm Rafael. I'm Earl, right? Jesus is my relative. When I tell people that, they're like, what? It's like, yeah, I come from Ruth's line. We're the Kramers, and it's in the Bible, Book of Daniel. It's the Germanic tribes with the and then that Germanic tribe goes across, and where the guy who in spirit is most like Adam, David, Jesus, John, is born during the apocalypse, is right outside the Trinity site in the town where and it tells in a lot of intimate details in that book about the circumstances of my birth, the life of my mother, how it affected my siblings were affected by the devil and Satan trying to bring down. And everybody, well, you're saying it's you? Okay. How many brothers and sisters did Joseph have? Okay. And how many of the brothers and sisters were Joseph? Okay. How many brothers and sisters did Jesus have? And how Jesus is not God. Stop that bullshit. How many brothers and relatives did David have? And how many were David? Okay. Do you understand? Okay. It's wrong to take the righteous one and turn him into your possessive pronoun God to attack the righteous one that is living with you today. Okay? I tell you, a prophet is a prophet except in his own house and his own hometown. Okay? When you see somebody stand up to the people that invent the cartels to keep their Jeffrey Epstein jobs going so they can mass murder people for oil companies and tech companies for a job that they're addicted to, and you see one man stand up to stop it all by himself without fear, and they try to manipulate him to turn him into one of them, and he doesn't do it, it is wrong for you to say, the cartoon character from Constantine and Jerome is better than you, Earl. Yeah, but you're not. And you keep telling me Jesus hates me unless I accept him as God in your head, and you're going to send me to a magic place where I'm tortured eternally in your head, and you're going to be with Jesus who's better than me in your head because you didn't do anything to try to be as good as Jesus in your life. You know how fucking sick that is? Why don't you have one of Jennifer Lopez's professionals explain it to you? And then they'll tell you to go get a colonoscopy so they can take you to a body repair shop, rip your body apart, and then bombard you with radiation. And if that's no good, they can wash you out with some kind of new miracle cleanse and then give you stem cell therapies to try to regenerate the tissues they watch be destroyed so they could be a professional, give you a professional opinion, and make money off of your suffering. That's why they need to shut the fuck up and never fucking talk to me in prayer again, or I will kick their dicks so fucking hard they won't know where to find them. And if they talk to me, you might as well be talking out of your ass over VJ. But money, first profession don't work here, bitch. Get the fuck on out. Get gone. Right? I started telling them about stuff that happened with my family, with me sitting there standing over my mom saying, come on, soldier up, get up. What do you know? He was selfish. He, like Dad said, he killed himself in Patrice's bedroom. He didn't think about any of us. And Mom laid there on the floor of the spot where he died and was crying, and then explained to me that Ira, the biological dad of Patrice, when Mom didn't leave with him back when we were going to leave, Dad was going to leave, went to a hotel and committed suicide and killed herself. And she thought this was like the chickens coming home to roost. That God, the Lord was punishing her for that moment, and it was all coming back. And I said, you just lay there and take all the time you need and cry as much as you can, Mom, and I'll just keep this to myself. Damn. She laid there for a whole day, rolled up in a ball, and just cried. Okay. That's all she did. And I just checked in on her to make sure she was okay. I didn't do the old Mick, get up and get her. He was being, or my dad, get up. He was selfish and did that. I just sat there and, and I didn't yell at her. It wasn't until years afterwards, and I didn't say anything. Why didn't you guys fucking tell me that they were kicking him out and putting him into the military? Why didn't we could have got him a spot at a tech school for working on cars, or either putting stereos into cars and doing electronics on cars, or working on cars, and then, let him stay and Patrice stay in my room. I stay in the smaller room until he graduates, and then they could get their own apartment. Why didn't you guys offer him any kind of options like that? They told him he was either going out in the street or join the military, and he didn't want to join the army, so he killed himself. They gave him an ultimatum. We're in foster care. We can't make money off of you living with us anymore because you just turned 18, so you're either going to join the army or get out. And I was like, why can't we offer him another alternative? Why can't he stay with someone else and go to tech school and get a tech school thing going, Why can't the state with the foster care agency do that for him? If the Hollands can't take him because they won't make money off and pay their bills, he can stay with us, But no one talked to me about it. Well, because I'm a man, okay? I do stuff like this all the time. I've been doing it since I was a teenager, okay? Because I'm better than Spencer J. Kimball. I'm better than Ezra Taft Vincent. I'm better than Gordon B. Hinckley. I'm better than Pope Francis. I'm better than Bill Clinton. I'm better than Ronald Reagan. I'm better than Barack Obama. I'm better than Joe Biden. I'm better than Kamala Harris. I'm better than Ruth Gator Ginsburg. I'm better than Clarence Thomas. I'm better than Sonia Sotomayor. I am a human being. I am better than Dr. Kevorkian. I'm better than Stephen Hawking. I'm better than Nobel Prize winners. I'm a human being that understands how to live with human beings and help them through hell. If we can't help assholes that think they're in charge and power and authority change. Do you understand? Okay? I hate what you assholes do with this beautiful place. Okay? The most horrible mass murderers in the history of mass murder, it says in the Bible, the people that get together that threaten to blow us all up with nuclear weapons, if they can't mind screw us with technology and money, gathered together, and this is where I was born. They were trying to bring down Jesus and replace Jesus with their egos. Same thing you guys always do. Caiaphas, Herod, Ramesses, Nebuchadnezzar, Prince of Persia. The emperor will stop you by building a big wall that causes absolute havoc on the ecosystem. Yeah. and promotes global warming because we're not having the right, predators going back and forth and the right not predators going back and forth, and everything's managed and controlled mechanization by cash cropping and cash herding and stuff. Okay, so there's no natural biological things going on. That's why they put the bighorns back in the mountains, and because they have no intention on stopping the mass murder of the people in Mexico and El Paso. What a bunch of assholes. I know. When you guys realize how much Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. loves you, maybe you'll lay down on the floor in a bedroom where someone committed suicide and cry for a day. And then if you pray for help from the Lord, I'll stand over and you say, it's okay. It's okay, Marianne. I see you walking away. It's more than a feeling, Mom. All I want is to live the Lord's Prayer so we can all have our peace of mind, right? Boston. In Boston, the Kennedys are gods. Yeah, just be a man. And don't believe in your press, and don't believe in your money, and don't let them make your sex life into a money-making machine that makes people go through PTSD and want to cry. Okay? Dumbasses. I love you. Peace, man. We'll talk tomorrow.